In an 8-week period, Tommy Robinson has lost 10,000 subscribers on Telegram. It's gone from 55,000 to 44,000. At the moment, presently, there are 14 people currently serving prison sentences after being arrested at Tommy Robinson demonstrations. Richard Inman, who is connected to the Tommy Robinson movement, in a street interview stated that being arrested is part of being in the movement, and that's paraphrased, it's not word for word. The 14 people currently in jail have reached out to Tommy Robinson for support, but are being ignored by him. A YouTube channel called Ex Tommy Robinson Supporters has further information about the imprisoned supporters.
What will happen is the good, committed, intelligent people like Dion and Shazia, will move away from him, and he will be left with two types of people. On one hand, he will be left with incompetents, people who go along for trouble, political thrill seekers, people who want to sit on the megabus quaffing lager and then get down to London, powder their nose and get into a scrap. So he'll have people like that, and also quality people like Danny Tomo, yeah. And he then will be left with also his controllers. And it'll essentially be, or end up like the EDL did, because that's what happened to the EDL. Tommy built up the EDL and it started to have a national structure. It started to have local and regional organizers. And very quickly, the people who were organizationally capable dropped out. They walked away, they saw through it, and they said enough's enough. And it ended up just being Tommy and the rump. And then Tommy walked away from it because he realized it was completely uncontrollable. And that is what will happen again with the TR movement, because the talented people, the writers, the orators, the people who can produce quality content. I'm not talking about people who, make content on their potato webcam and just repeat his talking points, but people who actually produce good, thoughtful content, people who are writers. Shazia was one of the best writers, if not the best, at TR News. Dion had flown here to speak at his event. Those people will leave, and he will be left with a rump movement and a top-heavy organization full of the you-know-whos. And that's the point it will get to. It will probably still stagger on. It will probably still generate a very fine income for those at the top because the monetization is so slick. But actually, as a functional organization, it will cease to exist in any meaningful way. And he's angry. He's angry that people are seeing through him. He's angry that people like Dion and Shazia and many other very talented people who would be a backbone of his movement, the backbone, people who actually have brains, not people who want to go to London and get smashed on the megabus on the way down, chant Tommy, Tommy, and then get into a punch-up at a pub and miss the last bus home. The good people, they're the ones who are leaving, and he's angry. He's angry about that.
There are lots of people who are messaging me now saying thank you and saying we've started, we're not going to the marches anymore, and we're not so sure about this. And those are the people that you might not hear about because they're not very loud about it. But lots of people are slowly looking and saying, not too sure about this. I think it's not for me.